Throughout history, kings and emperors ruled the world. But there were women who rose above every limit. Women who commanded armies, built empires, shaped nations, and rewrote the destiny of millions. Today, we bring you the top 10 most powerful women in history, leaders who proved that true power has no gender. These women didn't just rule, they changed the world forever. If you love powerful history stories like this, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon, so you never miss our next epic video. Number 10. Indira Gandhi. No, she's not related to that Gandhi, it's just a common name. Elected India's first female prime minister in 1966, she quickly became popular for modernizing the country's agricultural systems and fighting poverty. However, she soon devolved into an authoritarian. When Gandhi was convicted of corruption in 1975, she could have left office gracefully. Instead, she declared a state of emergency that came to be known as the Reign of Terror. She imprisoned her rivals, suspended civil liberties, and censored the press. During this time, she also rounded up and sterilized millions of poor men in the name of population control. Number 9. Tamar of Georgia. King George III played an influential role in his country's rise to prominence, but he had a predicament. Though Georgia had never had a female ruler, he named his daughter Tamar as his successor. To make sure she held on to her claim to the throne, he crowned her his co-ruler in 1178, when she was a teenager. After his death, she took the title of king and ruled Georgia for 24 years. Tamar commanded a formidable army that enabled her to expand her territory. Number 8. Empress Dowager Cixi. Although she started her royal tenure as a concubine, Cixi rose to become one of the most powerful people in the Qing dynasty. When the Shanfeng emperor died in 1861, Cixi's son took his place at just 5 years old. Cixi lost no time in removing the 8 regents appointed to rule until the young monarch came of age, though to be merciful, she only had 3 of them executed. When her son passed away at just 18, she promoted her 4-year-old nephew to the throne and continued to rule as regent. Number 7. Margaret Thatcher. Perhaps the most controversial figure on our list, she became Britain's first female prime minister in 1979. During her 11 years in office, she instituted sweeping economic changes that came to be known as Thatcherism. This involved massive privatization of state industries, financial deregulation, consolidating power in the central government, and undermining unions. Although unemployment spiked during her first term, she was re-elected in a landslide, twice. Number 6. Zenobia. The Palmyrene Kingdom was a state within the Roman Empire located in present-day Syria. But Queen Zenobia wasn't content to remain a Roman subject. After her husband was assassinated in 267 AD, Zenobia's young son became king, and she ruled as regent in his place. She rebelled against the Romans, declaring her land to be its own empire, and even expanded her territory by invading Egypt. Zenobia was a well-educated intellectual who spoke Aramaic, Greek, Latin, and Egyptian. She ruled over a vibrant, multicultural nation famous for its diversity and religious tolerance. Number 5. Maria Theresa. During her reign from 1740 to 1780, she instituted sweeping reforms that ushered the Habsburg Empire into the Enlightenment. However, in Maria Theresa's case, perhaps the ends didn't always justify the means. She created public schools to increase literacy among the poor, but she arrested anyone who opposed her, including peasants who needed their kids to work the fields. She supported the new science of vaccines, but had the shots tested on orphans before taking them herself. Her overhaul of the feudal system ensured that serfs could support their families. But she also passed strict morality laws and authorized a secret service to spy on people suspected of impropriety. Number 4. Wu Zetian. Smart, ruthless, and ambitious, she maintained authority by eliminating anyone who might oppose her. Like Empress Dowager Cixi, she entered the royal court as a concubine. When she married the emperor in 655, she became the empress consort. After her youngest son took the throne, she forced him to step down so she could reign alone. Wu Zetian had her secret police spy on her adversaries, planted false accusations of witchcraft, and exiled or executed those who spoke against her. Under her leadership, China expanded its territory by invading its neighbors, and its culture and economy thrived. Number 3. Cleopatra. Modern portrayals tend to fixate on her beauty and relationships to the men around her. But the last pharaoh of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt was a well-educated, savvy politician and diplomat who spoke 9 languages and constantly had to negotiate tensions with Rome. When her father died around 50 BC, Cleopatra and her brother Ptolemy XIII jointly inherited his throne. However, the two became rivals, with most Egyptian officials siding with Cleopatra. After Ptolemy XIII died in battle against Julius Caesar, his sister promoted her son as her co-ruler. Number 2. Hatshepsut. 1500 years before Cleopatra, another woman ruled ancient Egypt. When Hatshepsut's husband, Pharaoh Thutmose II, died, she became queen regent for her 2-year-old stepson. Just 7 years later, she declared herself pharaoh, an unheard-of move in the male-dominated society. To project authority, she had herself portrayed with a traditional false beard and masculine clothes. Her 22-year reign was a time of prosperity and political stability. Hatshepsut re-established trade routes, had hundreds of new monuments and buildings constructed, and promoted the arts. Number 1. Catherine the Great. Born to a noble but poor German family, Catherine's mother was determined to marry her to someone powerful. She was invited to visit Russian Empress Elizabeth, who was so impressed by the smart young girl, that she betrothed Catherine to Peter, her nephew and heir. Catherine agreed to the marriage despite her contempt for Peter's ignorance and drinking. Just 6 months after he inherited the throne, Catherine staged a coup, had Peter arrested, and declared herself ruler. As empress, she expanded Russia's territory and promoted science and the arts. She was particularly concerned with public health, establishing hospitals and promoting vaccination. Both her romantic and her political exploits are now the stuff of legend.